Hello and welcome to Bobby Reviews, weekly videos and tutorials to help you grow your online business. Today we're going to be looking at setting up the email sequence that will be sent to your opt-ins once they've opted in to collect your lead magnets. So we're going to be doing this email sequence inside AWeber. That's what I'm using right now. So we're going to just go from the beginning in case you don't already have an account. I will just quickly run you through the steps that you would go through to start this process. So you would enter your company name. You would enter here. You put, do you have a website? If you have a website, you can enter that here. If you don't, just click no, you don't have a website address. You'd enter your contact address details. You'd fill all this in, supply the name that will be at the bottom of your emails. So for example, for this particular video, I'm just going to call it Bobby Test, and you're going to leave an email address. This will also be at the bottom of the emails that will be sent out to your opt-ins. So don't worry too much about these details because it says you can change this address in list settings after your account is set up. Just go through this process and I'll quickly fill that out and I'll see you on the next page. So on the next page, you put in the list name and then you're going to put in a list description. So this will just briefly describe what your list is about. So if it's about online businesses, you can just put information. You can put weekly or bi-weekly emails, tips and tutorials. So whatever it is that describes your list. Okay, and then you move on to the next page. So your list is going to be in whatever language. Mine is going to be in English. And then here you're going to subject line. You're going to choose an approved subject line or request a custom one. So this is your current subject line. So once your prospects opt in for the lead magnet, we're going to have, if you're going to be doing double opt-in. So double opt-in is where they put in their details and then they need to go back into their email to confirm that they do want to be on your list. So that message that's going to be sent to them is this. This is the choose an approved subject line. This is the confirmation message that will be sent to them. You also have a list of other things you can choose. You can put response required. Please confirm your request for information. You can use their first names. Let's say Helen, confirm your subscription. And that's what's going to be in their email. Or you can request a custom line. Then this is the button that's going to be in their email for them to confirm their subscription. So that's the message that they'll get in their email. Please click the button below to confirm that you'd like to receive emails from the list. So then you'd have your name and company at the bottom, or just your name. Then they'll click here and that will take them to confirming their subscription. Okay, then you can click complete setup. Okay, so this is what your screen would look like if you're just opening a brand new account. Okay, so if you have a brand new account, where it says here active list, you would only have the one. But for somebody who's had an account previously, they might have more than one list. But always make sure that you are in the right list so that your messages go onto the right list. Okay, now we're going to start creating our messages and we'll go down to follow-up series. There's also a function that you can make campaigns in, and we'll look into this in a different video. Campaigns allows you to do more than the follow-up series. It allows you to do things like tagging. You can have more than one campaign for a list going on at the same time. But for this particular list setting, we're going to go into follow-up series. So we're going to go into follow-up series, click on that. Okay, so then it'll bring you onto this screen. So here for our follow-up messages, we're going to have the option of building up our messages one by one as drag and drop email builder, plain text message, or HTML. But wherever you can, stick to plain text message. So our first message is going to be a welcome or delivery email. So you're going to write out, hi, Alex. Let's say for here, you can put, if you have their name, you collected the subscriber's name, you would put their first name, and that would come here. So whatever their name is, that first name would come up here when the email goes out to them. Okay, and then you welcome them warmly to your list. Nice to have you on board, something along those lines. Tell them how frequently you'll be writing to them, telling them what you'll be providing them with. Remind them that they opted into the list for their lead magnet. Ask them to whitelist your email address, and then you give them the source to their lead magnet. Okay, so you welcome them to the family. That's the subject line. You can use emojis if you like emojis. You can personalize the subject line. So if you wanted to put their first name inside the subject line, that's quite a nice touch. So you can preview this message and see how it would look in the email, and you can actually have a test also. You can have a test message sent to you. Just apply your email there and it will send you a test message, and from there you can check any links, make sure that things look the way you want them to look, things function the way they're supposed to function. And if you want to make any alterations, you wouldn't do it from here. You'd have to go back to editor, and then you make your alterations here. And then after doing that, you can preview again if you choose to, and then once it looks the way you want it to look, you can save, and then you save and move on to the next message. Okay, so once you save and exit, it'll bring you onto this screen. You have your drafts, and you can see we've done one message, and we're going to do this for as many messages that we're going to have set up in our autoresponder. So we're going to now create our next message for message 2, which is either going to be sent out the next day, 7 days, 3 days, however, whatever intervals you want your emails to be sent out at, that's how you're going to set it up. But for now, we're just going to set up the messages, and we'll worry about the intervals down the line. So our next message, we're going to use a plain text message, and we go to create email 2. One thing I recommend when you're doing your emails is write the email number. So this is going to be email 2. Actually write it out here. Then you write your subject line, and when you come later on, when we're just writing our messages roughly, but later on we're going to make sure everything is refined and perfect the way we want it to be. For now, we're just uploading our messages. So as you're doing it, I suggest you write message email 2, email 3, because it's very easy down the line, once you have a number of messages, to start getting confused which message was which. And rather than making the mistake, just take it from me, write email 1, email 2, email 3, and later on when we come to getting everything ready to send out, we'll now remove this email. We'll now remove this. Okay, so this is just for us to keep on track and not get ourselves confused with which email is which number again. That's very easy to do. Once you start having a list of messages you're going to be sending out, it's very easy to get it confused which message was supposed to come before which. All right, so now we're going to do our next email. Like I said, you can personalize. Put their first name here, write out what it is, whatever it is that you're going to deliver in this second email, you write that all out, you save it, you'd save and exit and move on to the next message. We just do this over and over again till we have our email sequence set up. So just for the sake of demonstration, I'm going to do one more. So we've saved and exited, and that will bring us out into our drafts and our list of messages. And if you click on any of these, it will allow you to edit. So if you just press here, it'll take you back into the editor, and you can edit each email as you go. Okay, whichever one you click on, it will now bring you onto here. Okay, so if your sequence is going to be, let's say you're going to prepare your sequence and it's going to be 20 messages set up in your autoresponder, you're going to have to do this 20 times for this particular follow-up series. So however messages it is you want to load up into your autoresponder, that's how many times you're going to have to go through this create a message process, and it will all be building up here. So that's why I suggest that you write out email 1, email 2, email 3 until you finally have it all polished and it's ready for you to send out. So just so that you don't get lost as to which email is which number. So you may decide you want to send out your emails once or twice a week on a regular basis, of course. Then you're going to have, let's say you want to prepare 3 months worth of emails. So if you're doing it once a weekly, that'll be 4 times 3 for 3 months. So 12, 13 emails at least for this sequence. So you'd have that all prepared here. And obviously, the more frequently you're writing your subscribers, the more messages you're going to have to get ready. So definitely do have some pre-prepared so that you're not panicking once they subscribe as to what to send them. So you do need to be organize the contents that you're going to be sending out, and do pre-prepare some of these messages ahead of time. Some people, they have up to a year's worth of messages set up in their autoresponder. So it's as you decide. You might decide you want to set up 3, 4 months, 6 months, or a year. You can also check the spam score of each email, and you want your spam score to be low. So you need something that's below 5. You can see here. So AWeber will actually tell you, like, if, let's say if you're using too many spammy words, a spammy format, so you go back into the email and you tweak things, maybe remove maybe a certain link, certain words, your formatting. You just check the list to see, check my previous videos, and it will tell you the kind of things you need to tweak to make sure that your spam score is good and it's below 5, and that will increase your chances of your emails getting into your subscribers inbox. If you do get stuck anywhere along the way, AWeber provide excellent knowledge base, so just click this help. They also provide excellent support. But first, you can look through here and check and see if whatever question you're looking for an answer to, you can check if it's here. And if you don't find the answer, if you can't find what you're looking for, you can then contact them. Okay, I think it's okay, here it is. Still need help, you can email, and they're very, very good. Their support is excellent. All right. Okay, so once we have our list finally created, we're going to go into the messages now. We're going to go into the drafts, and we should see all the messages that we created here. Okay, now we're going to start scheduling these. They're still in the draft mode. Okay, for some reason it's brought us out to create a campaign. So it looks like this is a template, welcome campaign. Going to create our campaign. And we're going to use blank campaign. We're calling it the test. Okay, create. And we're going to, welcome to the campaign editor. We're going to start a campaign when someone is added to our list. Yes. So we're going to do that. So unsubscribe. And we're going to start, send a message. Okay. We're going to build out the templates, how it's going to be sent. We're going to wait, we're going to send a message, then we're going to wait. Okay, so this first message, we're going to choose a message or create a message, but we should have a message in our drafts. Remember, we created the messages in our drafts, so we're going to choose this one as our first message. Select that. All right, then the next one, we're going to wait. So however many days you want to wait for, if it's 7 days or you want to wait for 4 days, just depending on how frequently you're going to be sending out your emails, you give that time interval. All right, so select that. Then we're going to send a message. That's going to be our second message. So for this one, you can see it's highlighted. So we're going to choose a message or create a message. Now we do have messages in our draft, so we're going to select that. So you can see that's why it's handy to label them as which emails. Okay, so select email 2. Okay, so that's your email 2. Then we're going to wait however many days for the wait option. So however many days it is you want to wait for, you just select that there. If it's once a week that you're sending your messages, then you'd wait 7 days. All right, and you just continue building this out until you have all your messages done. Okay, for our next message, just here double click to add to the sequence. Okay, and then double click, we're going to wait, just keep building this out, okay, until we finish. So for our third message, so waited a week, that's our next message. We're going to choose a message. Yeah, that's our email 3. Selected that, so we've now added that to the sequence of emails. So we just keep doing this until we've got all our emails in there. And remember, you can have a copy of each email. Okay, so once we've done that, we're going to save and exit. So when we save and exit, it'll bring us out to our list of messages. Okay, so now remember, we want to remove this emails. That's okay. We're going to go now into messages to allow us to get into the messages. In this phase, it allows you to have a quick look at campaign stats, but we haven't activated it yet, so we don't have any statistics just yet. So we go into the messages tab, and this will allow us to now copy. Remember, I said keep a copy of each. We're going to copy each of these emails so that we have it as a backup. All right, so you could do it this way, or you could choose to write it out piece of paper or on your notepad, however you want to do it. Okay, just you don't want to lose track of which email is which. You might have a sequence, you might have some kind of rhythm or pattern. You know, some information will come before the next information. All right, so we save and exit. Okay, so we now have our sequence here, which is now being called campaign. All right, so just check everything is in the order it needs to be. So that's our welcome email. Okay, we're waiting. So this would be immediately. Then we're waiting 4 days, and then our next one, then we're going to wait however many days it is you want to wait, then your next email, and you just continue like that until everything has been finished. Now at the end of your at the end of this sequence, you might want to put a tag. Right, so I'll leave it there for now, and we'll continue in the next video.